It's one of those great days at the channel when the shoe just right off the bat, that's the one I'm doing. Daily content every single day from Tokyo, Japan. Always bringing you guys this content about upcoming sneaker releases, and every single day I'm researching the shoes and trying to find the right shoe to bring to you. And sometimes it takes quite a long time to scroll through a bunch of websites, a bunch of social media, trying to find that one shoe that's just right there, the sweet spot, the shoe that's coming in a couple of weeks' time that people are going to want to know about. And it takes a while, except for days like today. And I love days like today. Pretty much the first shoe I looked up, yep, doing that, that's it, we're sold. This is the one, the flat silver as I'm calling it, that's the name it's got right now. And when you're watching this video, it might already have a proper name, which sometimes happens with Foamposites. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed that they tend to get their official name a lot later in the kind of cycle than other shoes. You know, you know the name of a lot of Jordans weeks, if not months before they drop. But Foamposites, it can sometimes be days before the drop date that they actually put the official name on it. And I'll be talking about a couple of shoes that have come before this one that were just like that I got the name wrong on, but it's a shoe that I absolutely love. And then this one today, so it's, I'm just like straight away, first sight I looked at, first shoe I looked at, I was like, yep, that's the one. And I'm calling it the flat silver because that's the only name I've got for it just now, but who knows, maybe I'll have a proper name in a few days time, hopefully not Halloween, and we'll get into that as well in today's video. So there's a lot to talk about, the features on the shoe, why it's not a Halloween shoe, where it falls in the sort of line of recent Foamposites, and what it is about this shoe that just makes it an absolutely cracking shoe, and the reason why as soon as I saw it I knew I had to bring it to the channel. So with all that up ahead, I hope you look forward to today's video, which is about the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Flat Silver. This is the Tokyo by the 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo by the 23 Sneaker Channel des.毎日アップするので、毎日見てください. Every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today, what we're taking a look at is that upcoming release of the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Flat Silver. And it's due to come on October the 29th. And I reckon this video is probably going to come to the channel round about October the 19th, maybe a little later than that, which is pretty close to 10 days before the drop date, and that's right in the sweet spot, exactly where I want a shoe to be, 10 days before release date, giving you guys information about the shoe, the details on it, and you can work it out if it's one of those shoes you want in your collection or not. And I already said at the top of this video, not the Halloween. The places I looked to get more information about this shoe talked about it being Halloween, and I can kind of get the vibe on that. October 29th, 2 days before Halloween, I get it. The orange hits on there, pumpkins, you know, I get it, but I'm not feeling it. There's nothing else on here that's about Halloween. We did the Nike Air Trainer 3 Dracula, which had like hits of Dracula, teeth, bats and stuff, so very Halloween shoe. And then the other one that I've done already, I'll put a picture up because I can't remember what it was called. That's it, it's the Air Max 97 Slime, which had some features of Halloween as well. Whereas this one, the colorway, maybe the orange could talk about Halloween, but anything else on there, there's nothing about bats or witches or Dracula or pumpkins, even the pumpkins themselves. And actually, when I think about it, the outer shell of a Foamposite would lend itself well to looking like a pumpkin with those sort of ribs down the side, which you could, you know, color in a certain way to make it look like a pumpkin. So maybe next year, Nike, that's a good place for you guys to go to get your Halloween shoe. But for me, any sites that are saying Halloween, I think they're stretching it a little bit. Just because it's got orange on it means it's a Halloween shoe. Might be wrong. For all I know, that is the official name of this guy, and it's going to come down the line, the Nike Air Foamposite Pro Pumpkin, but I just don't see it. And also quickly, I know, you know, veterans of the sneaker world out there will definitely know this already, but I do like to mention at the start of videos, so I like to learn, and hopefully I like people out there to learn as well. And if you already know this, great, but if you didn't know this, it's a Pro because of the big swoosh on the side. And let's bring up the shattered backboards, because I think that's an absolutely beautiful shoe. I loved this shoe when it came out. One of the first Foamposite I was just like, ooh, I gotta get my hands on those guys. They're beautiful, and I never did manage to do it. But the point is, it doesn't have a big swoosh on the side. That's why it's we know it's a Nike Air Foamposite 1. Whereas today's shoe has that big swoosh on the side, as did this right here. I called that the University Red. I don't know what it actually dropped under, because like I say, I do these videos, you know, 10 or 14 days before the drop date, and with Foamposite, it tends to be quite late in the cycle that you hear the official name. And like I said, I called these guys the University Reds, even though there was barely any red on them at all. But you can see that big old swoosh on the side that tells you it's a Pro. So simply said, the difference between ones and Pros, the easiest difference to see is that the ones don't have the big swoosh on the side, and today's shoe, having a look at that right there with a big old black swoosh on the side of it, is definitely a Pro, and that's how you tell them apart. A very quick glance. I'm sure there are other ways to do it as well, like the heel, which we'll get into today, but that's the quickest and fastest way that I've found. So hopefully you appreciate that. But talking about a black swoosh on the side, you have to talk about what it's on top of and the contrast. Those University Reds, if I remember rightly, didn't have contrast between the swoosh and the upper, but today it's almost a perfect contrast with that big black swoosh on the very silver upper, and that silver upper, very metallic, very strong, also still looks a lot like those University Reds. If we bring back the University Reds, they had a lot more of the silver feel to them because of that swoosh being similar to the actual upper. And then we come back to today's shoe and you can see there's a lot more contrast with the blacks and the silver on here, but very, very similar looking shoes. And speaking of similar looking shoes, let's zoom in on the front end of this. In fact, not zoom in, let's go to this picture right here. I found this picture, which is very high quality, nice looking picture to give you a look at the little swoosh towards the front end of the shoe, which is a nice signature feature. And I do like it when Nike choose to put that in a contrasting color to the lacing system. Sometimes, like not in the case of this, but sometimes it would be a black swoosh on a black leather lacing system, making it hard to see. But today it's that orange little swoosh on the black leather lacing system, and that contrast makes it pop right out. And then if we go up from that, we get to one of my most interesting features on the shoe. Is one of the places that they can put a lot of design in on the Foamposites is the tongue and the heel pull tabs, and basically often the way they do that is by running lines across the length of those tabs on there. But as you can see for today's one, they've actually stuck with the pure orange tabs front and aft, except on the back, on the aft one at the back of the shoe now. And we'll bring up the heel now because there's a couple of features on the heel that are worth looking at. One is that heel tab actually has the word Foamposite in black on the orange background, which is a nice contrast. And it's a little bit of design, but like I say, those tabs are very plain and striking for that particular reason. And then also, if we stay on the heel and you come down a little bit from it, you've got those big old swooshes on the back there as well. Very different from a Foamposite one's heel sort of design unit. And then I think the next place to go, you know what I want to do is I want to go on the insole and have a look down inside, because again, this is a great place to get a view of that orange. That is actually, there's a lot of it on the shoe, even though there are little hits. Like if we look right now, we're looking down at the black insole with the orange branding on there, but if you come forward from that and past that tongue tab that we already talked about, you can see the orange line that runs up the length of the tongue, and it's a thin orange line, it's a small orange line, but when you put it together with all the other orange on the shoe, it actually makes up for quite a lot of orange. And another place to see that is if we flip these guys upside down, there's a big old swoosh on the outsole, again giving you that contrast, a very, very black outsole, and you can see the midfoot carbon fiber shank in there as well, but a very large swoosh in a very contrasting color, which gives another bit of definition to the shoe. So there's a lot of little details that make this up, but basically it's a very, very clean, very nice Foamposite Pro. Really, really nice. And I think people are going to go after this. I was like, as soon as I saw this, I was like, yes, people are going to go after that. They obviously went after the anthracites, I think that's how you pronounce it, triple black, whatever you want to say. Those guys are a very nice shoe, dropped recently. But I also did a video of this, which was the gradient soles, and I haven't actually seen them drop. They were meant to drop on October the 15th, but they didn't, as far as I know. They definitely didn't drop here, and I'm told they didn't drop elsewhere. If you know A, that they did drop, or B, why they didn't drop, definitely let us all know in the comments down below, because we've lost track of that shoe and we definitely want to know. But back to today's shoe, to finish it up, that's the flat silver, as I'm calling it. Really nice looking Foamposite Pro, very clean shoe, very clean colorway, but a lot of pop in that silver and a lot of great contrast between all the little hits of color on the shoe. So for me, it's a really, really good shoe, and the sort of echoes of the kind of orange, white and black of those shattered backboards, and also the echoes of that kind of silver base of the University Reds, two of my favorite Foamposites kind of crammed together in this shoe. So it's a big yes for me. So for now though, it's time for me to sign off. It's just about midnight on Friday night, and I'm just going to chuck this video up into the computer and then shut that down and get myself a good night's sleep. So I'll say good night. Thank you guys for checking out the content, and I'll just do what I do at the end of every single video, which is remind you that I do this every single day. So you guaranteed to see me tomorrow.